Louisiana has its first presumptive case of the coronavirus. We have team coverage of the impact of COVID-19, how it's affecting the stock market today, what local schools are doing to prepare, and if you plan on taking a cruise anytime soon, some changes you should know about.
Find out which days you may need to pack an umbrella.
Pack News starts now.
The next step, and when it's underway, is for the presumptive positive test to be sent to the CDC for confirmation. This confirmation may take up to a few days to occur, but we are confident in the result of our test, so we're treating this situation as we would a confirmed positive result.
Good afternoon, I'm Erin Snodgrass.
And I'm Amy No. Governor John Bel Edwards addressed the first case of presumptive coronavirus in Louisiana.
That potential case from a Jefferson Parish resident hospitalized in Orleans Parish after Louisiana Department of Health tests. Anam Siddiqui tells us more. Anam?
Guys, I'm at the Veterans Affairs Hospital here in Mid-City where the patient is being treated. The individual was admitted Friday and the VA is taking safety precautions for those who assisted the patient. The state is currently waiting for the CDC test results to come back, which may take a couple of days. Now, even though the patient is from Jefferson Parish, public schools from Orleans Parish are taking matters into their own hands. An individual was asked to stay home from self-quarantine after traveling from a high-risk area. Now, the mayor has been preparing for this emergency and says the risk is still low for New Orleanians. The person's name or age is not being released at this moment. Back to you guys.
With at least a dozen universities across the country closing because of the coronavirus, many are left wondering what will happen to our schools here in New Orleans.
Loyola President Tanya Tetlow addressed Loyola students by email following the first Louisiana coronavirus case. Tetlow said while Loyola is not officially transitioning to online teaching, she has begun to discuss the possibility with the faculty. Tetlow also encouraged students to wash their hands, stay home if sick, and to avoid travel to any place where the virus is present, including within the U.S. The email also asked students to notify the school if they have traveled anywhere outside of Louisiana before they return to campus. Back to you guys.
Tourism is a big deal here in New Orleans.
Yes, especially with cruises. The CDC issued a statement saying Americans should avoid cruise ships during the coronavirus outbreak, calling them areas of increased risk.
Reporter Tess Rowland spoke with a New Orleans woman who boarded a cruise ship in Miami last week for a dream vacation turned disaster.
It was supposed to be a relaxing getaway cruise for Ashley Sauls and her family, but instead,
it was pretty scary.
After reaching the first stop in Jamaica, MSC announced a crew member and a female passenger showed symptoms of influenza A, but tests were needed to ensure the passengers did not actually have coronavirus. Jamaican port officials would not let the ship dock.
I think at that point they couldn't keep it from us. They had to say, look, they're not accepting us because of this, and they're not taking any chances.
The ship went to the next stop, the Cayman Islands, and was again rejected to dock. Ashley began to see crew members wear masks, making her feel uneasy.
If something were to break out, you're trapped.
She was especially worried for her teenage son, Daniel, who suffers from asthmatic symptoms.
It's kind of scary to, see that it might be on your boat.
But Daniel tried to remain calm and made the most of the basketball courts while being forced to stay on the ship.
Just tried to stay away from a lot of people, not touch anything.
After 12 hours in the Cozumel port awaiting test results, they got the all clear and passengers were finally allowed off the ship.
Ashley ended up being able to get all the money back for her cruise. She was credited the trip, but she says she won't be taking a cruise anytime soon.
Everything I've been watching on the news is just saying, don't go on a cruise.
MSC released a statement that they will now be pre-screening passengers with thermal cameras to easily detect passengers with signs of illness. They have also updated their high-risk area maps to include parts of northern Italy. Tess Rowland, PAC News.
Cruise itineraries at the Port of New Orleans will remain the same, but they will be implementing more rigorous passenger screenings like checking passengers' temperatures through thermal cameras. For more information on the coronavirus, city officials encourage you to call the number on your screen or text COVID NOLA to 888-777.
Coming up next, how coronavirus fears are affecting trading on Wall Street.
And St. Patrick's Day is coming up, but with the spread of the coronavirus, will festivities continue? We'll have more after the break.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Worldwide markets start to find more luck after the coronavirus sparked a panic among investors.
Reporter Andres Fuentes joins us live with the latest on the rise. Andres, how are the markets looking right now?
Good afternoon, Aaron and Amy. Investors breathe a sigh of relief today after the Dow soared 800 points. Experts credit the recovery on President Donald Trump's proposal for significant relief for those impacted by the virus. The president says he'll press lawmakers to enact a payroll tax cut and ensure hourly workers have the help that they need. Before the proposal, the Dow ended up at 214 points, the biggest point drop in history.
Now, Andres, what exactly caused the big drop?
With worldwide travel restrictions, many people decided to cancel vacations and just stay home. Workers also remained at home to avoid the coronavirus, meaning they earned less money on their paychecks and less money to spend.
With things looking positive right now, should we expect it to remain that way?
Well, investors hope markets continue to rise, but oil prices are having their worst days since 1991. In the U.S. alone, oil prices dropped as much as 34%. And many experts urge people to prepare for a potential recession in the future. For now, I'm Andres Fuentes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andres. 432 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the U.S. and 19 people dead. 35 states report cases, and Louisiana is one of them. The Archdiocese of New Orleans is one group taking preventative measures to ensure it doesn't spread anymore.
The rite of peace, a time where ordinarily parishioners exchange handshakes, hugs, and even sometimes kisses. Now a time cut short.
Our pastor made a decision to stop shaking hands, the sign of peace.
Out of an abundance of caution, many parishes in the Archdiocese of New Orleans, like this one, Mary Queen of Vietnam Church, have halted these practices.
Precautionary procedure to protect, especially our elderly, where they're vulnerable of catching these viruses.
The Archdiocese released a statement saying there are a few precautionary measures that can be taken at the discretion of the pastor. It also reminds ministers of the Holy Eucharist to keep up good sanitation and health measures.
Could it be effective? Maybe. What we know is it's simple as just making sure we're washing our hands properly. Same things that we're doing to prevent like this transmission of the flu. What we do know is it's a respiratory virus, so could it be transmitted through airborne? It could be. So if you're already sick and you're in church, you may already be spreading it.
The statement from the Archdiocese encourages parishioners that if they are sick or if they're experiencing symptoms of sickness, they are not obliged to attend Mass.
I don't think it's have any effect. I don't think it's take away any traditional in terms of rite in Mass. I don't think it's a big deal within our culture.
could be slightly an overreaction, trying to make sure we stay well. But I think the most important thing that we have to realize is that Louisiana hasn't had a case of coronavirus.
Archbishop Gregory Amen asks first that parishes pray for those who have been affected by the virus and further protection from the virus.
A priest in Washington, D.C. was diagnosed with the coronavirus, and those hundreds who have come in contact with him are asked to self-quarantine at this time. The Archdiocese of New Orleans is monitoring the situation and says if it does get worse and more serious, they may enact restrictions through the diocese.
This Tuesday might be a landmark moment in the 2020 presidential campaign. Democratic presidential candidates Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are facing off on Super Tuesday 2. John Lawrence reports.
It'll be like deja vu all over again, but not quite as big. On Super Tuesday 2, contests will be held in Washington State, Idaho, North Dakota, Missouri, Mississippi, and most importantly, Michigan, with its 125 delegates. Democratic presidential candidates Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders spent the weekend stumping.
We're building a coalition. We're building a coalition that most successful presidents of our lifetime, Barack Obama, had started.
Change never takes place from the top on down, always from the bottom on up.
Each candidate received a big endorsement. California Senator Kamala Harris is backing Biden.
We need a leader who really does care about the people and who can therefore unify the people. And I believe Joe can do that.
While the Reverend Jesse Jackson is supporting Sanders.
A lot of talk these days about democratic socialism. What does all that mean? The opposite word is democracy, all for and by the people.
Biden has a delegate lead over Sanders thanks to his dominant performance on the first Super Tuesday.
This is not an election just for the soul of the Democratic Party. It's a battle for America's soul.
Sanders, meanwhile, is still awaiting Super Tuesday results from delegate-rich California, where he is leading in a slow count, and focusing on Michigan, a state he narrowly won in 2016.
Let us win the Democratic nomination. Let us defeat Donald Trump.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
President Trump, meanwhile, has already collected 833 delegates for the Republican nomination. His long-shot challenger, former Governor Bill Weld, has gathered a single delegate.
And will the weather hold up this weekend?
Stay tuned to find out.
Back to you, Lester.
Thanks, Taylor. And in our final story of the night,
Maroon has been ranked as one of the top student newspapers in the nation by the Princeton Review.
Although Mardi Gras season may be over, parades are still rolling. Mayor Cantrell says even amid coronavirus concerns, everything will continue as normal for St. Patrick's Day. Events kick off Friday with the Mollies at the Market Irish Parade in the French Quarter at 6, and the Downtown Irish Club Parade is to follow. Saturday, the Irish Channel Parade rolls uptown at 1 p.m., and the fun continues Saturday with the St. Joseph's Parade in the French Quarter at 6 p.m. On Sunday, head over to Metairie for the St. Patrick's Day Parade on Metairie Road at noon, and Super Sunday hits uptown at 1.
The virus might not stop the parades, but will the weather?
Let's check in with Cody Downey. Cody?
well, for now, the weather won't be the best, but it will get better as the week goes on. As you can probably already tell, today is going to be a pretty bad day. We're expecting showers till tonight and are going to have a high of 76 degrees. So it would be a good idea to have an umbrella on hand for the rest of the day. But you can put your rain gear away tomorrow. It is expected to be a partly cloudy day with a high of 78 degrees and a 0% chance of rain. And luckily for us, tomorrow won't be the end of it. For most of this upcoming week, we're going to be expecting the same kind of weather as Wednesday. Thursday through Saturday is expected to be partly cloudy and stay in the high 70s. Along with that, the potential rain is going to be rising as the week goes on. Every day from Friday to Monday is expecting a 20% chance of rain. But as we move closer into the week, Sunday is expected to have some rain as part of that cloudy day. But as Monday comes around, the weather is expected to go back to the way it's going to be this week. I'm Cody Downey, and this has been your weather forecast.
And coming up for PAC Sports, how major sports leagues around the country are combating the coronavirus and what precautionary measures are being put in place to ensure the safety of their athletes. And also, LSU basketball is preparing for the SEC tournament this week. How well do the Tigers stack up against the competition? That and more coming up when we come back. Good afternoon. My name is Roche Gibson, and this is PAC Sports. The sports world was shaken up yesterday as major league sports, including the NBA, MLB, MLS, and NHL announced in a joint statement last night that they have closed their locker rooms to media access and are limiting access to only players and essential personnel in an effort to combat the spread of the coronavirus. The leagues have said that the decision came after consulting with public health and infectious disease experts. The NBA stressed to teams that the move is not to ban reporters, but to ensure the safety of players and staff in those areas. Teams have also been instructed to create a distance of 6 to 8 feet between players and media and availability sessions outside of the locker rooms. These changes have gone into effect for practices and games as of today. As NBA games remain scheduled, the Pelicans are set to take on the Sacramento Kings tomorrow night at 9:30. Now on a 2-game streak, the Pels defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves 120-107 this past weekend. Rookie forward Zion Williamson scored 23 points and 7 rebounds and put on an athletic showcase. Guard Drew Holiday scored a season-high 37 points in the victory that has the Pelicans currently ranked 9th in the Western Conference and still in prime position to secure an 8th seed come playoff time. And for the LSU Tigers basketball, the SEC tournament is beginning this week. Finishing with a 21-10 record, LSU has clinched the 3rd seed following a 94-64 blowout win against Georgia this past Saturday. The Tigers will have a double bye as a result of their top 4 finish in league standings and will not have to play till the quarterfinal round on Friday. Their opponent will either be the number 6 ranked South Carolina, 11 Arkansas, or number 14 Vanderbilt, all of which will be determined between now and tip-off, which will commence this Friday at Bridgestone Arena for 8:30. The NOLA Gold rugby team faced off against the New England Free Jacks at the Gold Mine over the weekend. The Gold and the Free Jacks were in a tight contest through 64 minutes with the Gold leading 24-22. The Gold pulled away after a Cam Nolan interception, leading a try and defeating the Free Jacks 31-22. The win improves the Gold to 3-2 on the season and moves the team to 4th place in the MLR standings. The Gold go on the road for their next game to face the Utah Warriors Friday at 8 p.m.
Thanks, Roche. Up next, the weather is getting warmer and snowball stands are opening doors.
We'll have a look at one popular stand preparing for the season up next.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
It's finally snowball season, and Hanson's Snowblizz is the oldest stand that serves the New Orleans summer staple in the city. Madison McLaughlin explains.
One hot New Orleans day in 1934, Ernest Hanson noticed the neighborhood children running up to the man pushing a block of ice down the street.
He took one look at that and said, I think I can build something better.
Then he built the first electric ice shaving machine. His wife, Mary, put the machine to good use, making her own syrups and selling the snowballs off her porch for 2 cents apiece.
She said that because it wasn't touched by hand, it was a quality product, and her slogan became, "There are no shortcuts to quality."
Hansen's famous snowballs are still sold here in its original location. Ashley Hansen has been working in the stand since she was 12 and took over the business when her grandparents passed away not long after Katrina.
It's emotional, it's love, it's a product that I make every day, and I think about my grandparents and the community that they served.
That community is now multi-generational, and many of the customers have been coming to Hansen's
forever. For as long as I've been alive. Honestly, like, I have older siblings, and so I was a baby the first time I was here.
For many, it's a family tradition.
This is me and my 2 boys.
They were not only my grandparents, but they were grandparents to half the city.
Hansen loves seeing everyone come visit the stand year after year.
It's so exciting. It's so fun because you see all the kids coming back, and they're a foot taller.
And customers from all over love to visit the snowball shop on the corner of Bordeaux and Tchoupitoulas.
People drive out to come to the snowball, even if they don't live around this area, so it's definitely special.
Hansen is proud to continue her grandparents' tradition of running the stand.
They were beautiful people that loved everybody, and every snowball was made with love, and I feel like we still do that today. We have as many flavors as there are personalities and walks of life that come into the stand.
Madison McLaughlin, PAC News.
Hansen's is open Tuesday through Sunday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Guys, I don't know about you, but this warm weather is really making me crave some snowballs.
I am ready for the first one of the season. I love wedding cake flavor. What about you guys?
I'm one of those people that kind of likes to mix them together. So like a strawberry, kiwi, add some grape and something, just try to something to spice it up a little bit.
I like a little blueberry,
No, definitely.
Blueberry, yeah, that's a good one.
I actually don't love the sweet sugary flavor, so I like the Satsuma flavor at Hansen's. It's a little bit citrusy, it's a little bit sweet, but not too sweet.
Okay.
And I don't do the condensed milk either.
Oh, you gotta do the condensed milk.
Oh, well, I don't know. It gets all melty, and with the warm weather, Cody, what do you think the melting factor will be? Is it gonna, what's that like?
I mean, you just gotta be careful with it. They can melt anytime, so you just gotta,
especially in New Orleans.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You just gotta make sure you're careful with it.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to wash your hands and stay safe.
Have a great day.